So hello everyone, welcome to EduTap, and guys, welcome to your other important session of Top PIB in News. In today's session, I will be discussing the important topics that are there from PIB from 5th to 8th of June, which is catering to our subject of economic and social issues. So if I talk about this session, guys, the session is relevant for RBI, NABARD, as well as for your both for your phase 1 and phase 2 examination. Then guys, coming to the session. So before proceeding with the session, guys, if you are new here, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you could get all the latest updates about the examination as well as the courses that we are offering to you. To get the access of the PDF as well as the earlier sessions PDF, guys, kindly subscribe to our Telegram channel. The link for which is given in the description below. Then guys, we are joining you daily with our various daily exam booster series including GA, reports and indices, and for ESI current affairs. We are joining you on Wednesday and Saturday at 8 am. Now guys, really glad to see these two important persons, Yogita Verma as well as Along, because they have, I'm really happy to see these kind of students, guys, detailed thing about the thing that I've asked as a homework. If I talk about affordable rental housing complexes as well as about the code wage bill, so both of them have given the detailed explanation, and I'm really happy to see this thing, these kind of responses that you guys are giving to me. Then guys, coming to the topics of the day, the first topic is related to Fugitive Economic Offender Act of 2018. The second topic is related to CEO water mandate, and the third topic is related to Model Panchayat Citizens Charter. Now, why the Fugitive Economic Offender Act or this in news? So recently, the Minister of Public Grievances and Pensions, so he has recently addressed a special sessions of United Nations General Assembly, which was basically catering to the challenges and measures how we could prevent and combat the corruption and strengthen the international cooperation. Now, based on that, he has discussed about the Fugitive Economic Offender Act of 2018. See that the Indian government has taken this step. Now, guys, the other important thing why you should remember this act. See, if I talk about if we relate it with other current affairs, that is Mehul Choksi, he has now been detained at Antigua, that is in Dominica. Other important, if I talk about other important fugitive economic offenders are Nirav Modi, then is Vijay Mallya. So now why we talk about these guys? What has happened to that thing? What they have done is they have taken a huge loan, huge economic offense they have committed in country, and what they have done is they have fled away from the country. Now they have gone outside India so that the legal action could not be taken against that specific purpose. Now the most important thing is who we treat as economic offender or simply fugitive economic offender. So fugitive simply means in Hindi is bhagoda. Those person who has ran away from India so that nothing could be taken, nothing legal action could be taken against him. Now the very important thing is, guys, if I talk about the economic offense, it doesn't mean any economic offense. If the economic offense it is being valued more than rupees 100 crore, then that person will be treated as fugitive economic offender. Now, very important for us is if I talk about this kind of snippet. The bill we have discussed, purpose we have discussed, why government has published this, why this act was in news. So what this act will be doing is, now first of all is how a person will be declared as economic offender. So for that purpose, under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act of 2002, a special court will be designated who will be dealing with these kind of cases. Now what the court will be doing is, if the court specified that this person is economic offender I have discussed with you, he has ran away from country and the economic offense that is committed is valued more than rupees 100 crore. So if he has been declared, then the proceedings will take against that specific purpose. Now Enforcement Directorate, they will be, after following the guidance of the court, what they will do is they will confiscate the properties about any Benami properties, any property in which the person has any kind of share, or all his legal properties that will be confiscated by the Enforcement Directorate. After that, the thing that will happen is, guys, now these confiscated properties will be handed over to the central government. So now the central government, they can sell the properties after 90 days. That is after the 90 days when the property has been confiscated when this property has been handed over to the central government, they can now sell that specific properties. Now after that thing, For that specific thing also, the designated authority will be appointed by the central government who will be working on that specific properties. Now, simple thing for us is whether the person who is economic offender, whether he has a right, whether he has any kind of thing that how he could fight a case. Now, very important thing is defending that person. So guys, he cannot file any civil claim in his personal appearances, that is in case of in his personal ability, as well as to any authority, any company in which he is a shareholder. That company can also not file a case in this special court. Now, after the order has been passed, then the person could approach to the High Court. Then within 30 days, person could approach to the High Court. The other important thing is High Court can give you an extension also up to the days, up to 90 days. The only thing is if he is satisfied with the condition. So these are the important things about the declaration of economic offender. Now, for appellate also I have discussed with you how appeals could be made. Now, coming to the second important topic, that is CEO Water Mandate of United Nations, which is an initiative of UN Global Impact. That is United Nations Global Impact has launched this initiative of CEO Water Mandate. The very important thing is, as a highlight, as the heading is suggesting, is it is related to water conservation. And why it is in news? Now NTPC has joined this mandate from India. Now, very important thing is when I talk about this mandate is, guys, basically they will be helping these organizations. How they will be helping is they are basically designed to assist companies. That is, this mandate has been designed so that it could assist companies in what purpose? In developing, implementing, as well as disclosing the wild strategies, that is water strategies, as well as policies. The most important thing about this mandate are, guys, the 6 key components of this mandate. The first one is related to direct operations. So direct operations, it doesn't mean direct. The simple thing of direct operations you should remember is direct involvement, which means industrial sectors, economic sectors, they should conduct the water surveys, water assessments. That is where the problem is there. Direct operations related to directly assessing the water problem. The second thing is supply chain and watershed management. So in supply chain and watershed management, what the companies will be doing is they will basically encourage their suppliers so that they should also focus on those kind of technologies which is basically helping in water waste management. The third topic is related to collective action. So after encouraging the suppliers, now they will build a close ties with civil societies also, so that these civil societies, they will also be catering to them so that water waste management could be reduced. After the collective action, the most important is public policy. Now see, they have done is directly they themselves to the suppliers as well as at the collective level. So now they will be participating at public policy levels. They will be helping the government also so that the policy could be formulated in a better way. They will also be giving some discussions to the government. They will also be discussing with the governments what are the things that should be taken by the government so that waste management could be reduced. The other important is community engagement. So community engagement simply means, now see, in the all the top things, they are participating in nature. Community engagement is now they have to engage the community. That is the initiatives that they have taken. Now the community should participate in these initiatives, which means understood the challenge in the community level. That is that made community level understand the challenge of water management. That is community engagement. And the last one is transparency. So everything has to be done. That is the government discussion, public discussion. Everything should be done in transparent manner. And if I talk about water mandate, guys, or especially water, you should remember your sustainable development goals and under the SDG 12, it is catering to water. And see, sustainable development goals are really important because these are a part of our syllabus. That is, they have specifically been mentioned in our SDGs, and you should remember all the 17 SDGs. And then, guys, coming to the third important topic or the last topic of the day, that is Model Panchayat Citizens Charter. So recently, Panchayat Minister, that is Narendra Singh Tomar, he has released this Model Panchayat Citizen Charter. Now, whenever any kind of charter has been released, any kind of act or any kind of policies has been released, the most important thing that could be asked in the paper is who is preparing this model. So the model is basically, guys, being prepared by Ministry of Panchayat Raj in collaboration with National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, that is NIRDPR. This organization is again important for you. So you should tell me, you should comment me about this organization also. Then, why do we need this? What is the aim of this Charter Act? So aim is basically, guys, that is the services should be provided in time-bound manner to the people of the village. That is, they which will help in reducing the grievances and improve their lives. Objective of this initiative is, guys, basically related to empowering the citizens. That is, now the citizens has to be empowered so that the services should be provided to them. Quality services should be provided. The most important thing is the quality services that we are providing, it should be in accordance with the expectation of the citizens. So this is something very much important. Services so we are providing, but it should be according to the expectation of not ourselves, expectation of citizens. That is the objective of this initiative. Very important thing, if I talk about the highlight of this initiative is, guys, basically under this initiative, all the framework, that is delivery services across the 29 sectors as well as the sections, will be basically focusing on again on sustainable development goals. Now, if I talk about this charter, so this charter will be formalized, it will be regularized by the Gram Sabhas according to the, and it should be published by 15th of August 2021. This date is again very, very important for us. Now, guys, coming to our other important thing about the practice MCQs, the first important is the first MCQ, that is related to Fugitive Economic Offender Act. So offense, I have discussed with you a lot of time, it is 100 crores, it should be more than, or at least should be 100 crores. Then the second is incorrect statement about the act. So the first statement is regarding that any civil court or tribunal prohibits or declare economic offender, that is, from filing or defending any civil claim. Very right, when I have discussed with you, that is, he could not file a case, he could not file a defamation case. Then the very important thing is, any company if is associated, they will also be debarred, they will also be barred from filing the defending civil claims. Then the central government may dispose the confiscated properties after 100 days. No, guys, we know that is 90 days. And special court, so that is again right. So here I am asking you incorrect statement, and we know the option number 3, that is third statement, is incorrect here. Then, guys, coming to the very important thing about CEO water mandate. So 6 key components we have discussed with you, and we know all these components are part of this thing. The direct operation, supply chain, and watershed management, everything is part of that thing. Now, other is fourth question, again related to this model charter, model panchayat citizen charter. So aim is also right here, objective is also mentioned right here, and the third statement is incorrect here. Why? The reason is it is not 2022, it is by 2021. So, guys, that brings us to the end of the session. So homework for you is sustainable development goals, and the other thing that I've discussed you in the session, that is about the institute that I've discussed, that you should also tell me about about that thing in the homework also. Now, coming to the motivation quote of the day. So successful people are not gifted, they just work hard and then succeed on purpose. Now, the thing that has been highlighted here is also is work hard to achieve your dreams, guys. And see, that is also we are also just helping you somewhere, so that the thing that I'm providing you should re-revise again and again, so that whenever the final exam is approaching you, you should be 100% confident that yes, you have worked hard and now you could easily get a success by clearing the examination. So, guys, that brings us to the end of the session. If you have any kind of query, you could drop us an email. Our email ID is hello@edutab.co.in. You could even place us a call. Our mobile number is 81462072441. And if you are liking the session, guys, kindly share it with your friends also. So, wishing you a great health, as well as you should work hard to achieve your dreams also. Bye-bye, guys.